I thought they were
You ain't
hunters.
stupid. You've hidden yourself well. You've hidden yourself well. You ain't stupid. You've hidden yourself
I'm
well. You
not.
have to
I'm
tell
not
yourself.
hiding. Me and my
Yes,
family
you
don't
are.
need to
Yeah, you
hide from
have to
any
hide.
of you little pricks.
Oh, listen. I remember hearing a live about you ages ago, and I can't remember who the live was with, but you was on about
Listen,
fucking
me and
on
my
about people in the
family.
army and that, and then you were slating them down, and then someone brings your family up now because they're in the army. It's all fucking.
What you on about?
Oh, me and my
I'm
family.
an independent. Listen, I'm an in. Listen, you're gonna
Oh
find
my
it
god!
very
Oh my
hard.
god! Come on, come on. Listen, let me hear this line again. I've heard it so many times. I'm an
Yeah, you're gonna
independent
find it very
journalist.
difficult. You're
I
gonna
have,
very.
I have
Listen,
been,
little dickhead. Oh, little
I
dickhead.
have been
You're gonna
studying
find it
law
very
for
difficult to
7
travel
years.
up and down this country without finding families that have got members of the army in it. Now, just because I've got family that are in the armed forces, that doesn't mean I can't
Was
have
in
an
the armed
opinion.
forces.
Just because, right?
Was in the
You
armed
think
forces.
no? Well, so you only know about my one uncle. How many other
That's all
family
you're blabbing
members
on
have
about.
all right, how many, okay, as soon as you think you know about me and my family, how many family members right now have I got currently serving in the armed forces?
I've not tried to look. You're not
Well,
that
you do
interesting to
not
me,
know.
mate.
The thing is, you don't know. So the point is, just because I have family members that have served and are currently serving within the armed forces right here, doesn't mean I'm not entitled to my political opinion in the nature of.
But
I am.
how come when you've done a live, how come when you've done a live ages ago, you slated someone for being in the army, killing innocent people, rare, 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 rare. Now that they're in the army serving and someone's mentioned it, they
Right, you're not
can't.
making any sense, right? Yeah, each individual
Oh,
case
you
in
know what I'm on
law.
about.
Yeah, I
Don't be
know what you're on
stupid.
about.
Don't
Listen, I know what you're on
don't.
about, but you're a thick piece of shit. I was on about a
I'm not a
murderer,
thick piece of
but just
shit.
you're a thick piece of shit because I was on about Blackman who was convicted of murder whilst serving for the armed forces. He was subsequently acquitted under an appeal, right? Yeah, but under temporary mental
How long is it
disorder
going
or
to take
something.
to explain this? How long is it
You
going
just
to take to explain
you
this?
don't seem to want to listen, right? I was talking about a convicted murderer within the armed forces, right? Yeah, that
Nick Ken,
after
Nick Ken, check how many of my family are on the database. You'll find that not one of them are,
well,
mate. So shut the
are you
fuck
on
up,
Chris
you
Whitworth's
donut.
database? Yeah, you're a bunch of nonsense. That makes sense.
Oh yeah, yeah, all over the database, mate. All over the database. Yeah, fully.
Is that why you're a bit worried, like yeah, because Badda's on the scene?
Worried about what, mate?
I
Go
don't
and do
know.
your
Well,
research.
why do
Go and do
you
your
care? Right,
research.
listen. Have I ever mentioned your name on a live ever before tonight?
No, I don't get no, because you just chat so
I've
much
never.
shit.
Right,
You got
I
listen.
just
You've
chat
got
so much
valid
shit.
points. Yeah,
I've never heard of you. I
you.
don't give a fuck who you are, where you come from. But you've just come on. You've just come on and tried to defend TGA like they're someone worth defending. Why? Why'd you go out
They're
your
just
way to defend nonsense?
listen. They're doing their bit they're doing their bit. Yeah, like every other team.
Says who? They
Like
harboured
every
a
other team.
nonce. They harboured a
Yeah,
nonce.
what? And then they got. Yeah, they should have been aware of it quicker because he was on the database. But you know what
They
I mean. Lesson
harboured a
learned, and it? You know what
nonce,
I
and
mean.
you're defending people that
It's lesson
harboured a
learned.
nonce. You're
Lesson
defending
learned,
people
ain't it?
that
You know what I mean?
harboured a nonce, a convicted paedophile. They harboured a
Yeah.
convicted paedophile, and you're defending them.
Come
Why
on,
is
I
that?
wouldn't class it as harboring. I wouldn't class it as harboring, would you?
Doesn't matter what you class it as. I'm telling you, they harboured a convicted
But it wouldn't.
paedophile,
It's not.
and
It's
you're
not.
defending them.
Oh my
Why are
God,
you
you.
defending people? Why are you defending people that harboured a convicted paedophile for? Why are you doing that?
Why are you targeting a woman? Why are you targeting a woman? All you going
Who
about
you
Mandy,
calling
Mandy,
a
Mandy.
woman? Like, Mandy's a fucking beast. Shit, I wouldn't call her a fucking woman, right? But
Okay. Right.
regardless
If you've
of
got
that,
family that serve in the army, how can you talk about a woman like that? If you've got family in the
what?
services, yeah. Why would you talk about a woman like that? Have some respect, will ya?
Why? You have to earn
Why?
my
What?
respect. Have
Earn your
you earned my
respect.
respect?
You ain't nothing special.
Have
I
you
don't. You
earned
ain't
my
need to earn
respect?
your
Well,
respect.
don't be asking for my respect when you haven't earned it. Until you earn it, don't be asking for it because you're not worthy of it. Right, yeah? Now, I'm asking you a question. TGA
You
harbored a
invited me on the
fucking
live. You
convicted
invited me on the live
paedophile.
because I put a comment. You invited me on the live
TGA,
because I put a comment.
TGA, no, you're lucky, mate. TGA harbored a
Why am I
fucking
lucky?
nonce and you're defended them. I'm
Why am I
asking you a
lucky?
question. You seem to be dodging it. TGA harbored a fucking convicted paedophile and you're defending them.
They didn't harbour
Why?
a convicted paedophile, did they? They didn't
Yes, they do.
harbour him.
Go and
And
look up the word
you're
harbour.
using the term. You're using the term wrongly. If you harbour a
No, I'm
criminal,
not. No, I'm not. No, I'm
you're
not.
hiding him away from
No,
something.
you're
You're
not. No, it
hiding him
doesn't.
away from
No,
something.
it doesn't. All right, let's go and look up the word harbouring.
Come on, come on.
Let's read it out, shall we?
Well,
What
if you get done for
did you
harbouring
just
a criminal,
say hiding?
If you get done for harbouring a criminal, that means
I never said that. Listen, yeah. I said they were harbouring a convicted paedophile. Now let's have a look at the word harbouring, shall we? Now, there's the first definition, which is keep a feeling for or a thought for, typically a negative one in one's mind, especially secretive, like I'm harbouring secret feelings for you because I fancy you, or I wanna fuck you, or something along them lines. Yeah, that's like pretty much the principal definition, that you're keeping something within and not letting anybody else know about it, right? Yeah, that's so you're harboring feelings. There's the principal definition.
So
Secondly,
if they knew about it,
now hang on, I
it,
haven't finished yet.
oh,
Now
go
there's
on,
a
go on.
second. Now there's a second definition in it, where it's like the third person perspective, where it's outwards. Now it's no longer inwards, concerning about the inside. It's outwards. So when it's an act.
Just explain. Just read it out. Stop trying to explain
Okay.
it. I understand
Okay.
what it means.
Give home or shelter to.
Yeah, but like, they didn't know it, did they? At the time, they didn't know it. And when they did know it, they
Says who?
exposed him.
Says who?
What's the point?
I don't know that
How
they
how
didn't
do you
know.
know that? So
Because they were on Chris
on
Whitworth's
your
database.
on
They were on Chris
what on
Whitworth's.
your
He
I
was
don't
on.
know
Listen.
on your I don't know. That means you're going to target someone.
What are you on about? No. What are you on about? You've just claimed that they didn't know. How do you know that?
So how do you know they do know? How do you know they did know?
Because he was on Chris Whitworth's database.
So that means they did know.
Well, are you saying Chris Whitworth's database is useless and pointless?
What? Don't try and put words into my mouth, mate. 'Cause it ain't gonna
Right
work.
then, so he was on Chris Whitworth's database, and you're claiming these paedophile hunters didn't know about him.
No, but they obviously didn't do their checks, did they? Which they might have. They should have. Do you know what I mean? They should
How
have
do you
done
know
their
they
checks.
didn't? How do you know they're not a network of paedophiles that always knew he was one?
Exactly. You don't know either, do you? You don't know
But he
either.
was.
So
Hang on, but this
why do you keep targeting a female? Why can't you target a man? Why do you keep targeting a female?
And again, if you go and look up TGA, it's run by 2 men and 1 woman. Is it my fault? These 2 pussies hide. Hang on. Why don't you go to the 2 men? Listen, why don't you go to the 2 men that run TGA with Mandy and ask them why they're hiding behind Mandy? Why don't you do that? Because I've called James out. You know, Mike Terry, the paedophile's best friend, James Lindsay. I've called him out because he's called me out and he's run off and hid. So what do you expect me to do? It's not. Is it my fault? But is it my fault? You're young man. Why are these 2 blokes hiding behind a woman? Have you asked them why they're hiding behind Mandy?
You've made your point, though, ain't you? Why do you keep me to go?
No, I'll decide. Listen. I'll decide. You won't decide when I've made my point. I'll decide when I've made my point. How's about that? Who do you think you are?
Who do you think you are?
I'm the guy that TGA threatened, and when I say TGA, I'm on about everybody in it, the whole company, which is 2 men and 1 woman. And if you're moaning at me about going for a woman, why don't you moan at the 2 men hiding behind her that I've called out, that are in hiding?
Well, maybe they ain't gonna just start blabbering on the internet. Maybe someone will catch up with you.
Well, whatever. Like, I'm not in hiding. They're
Have
more
you
than
never
welcome.
thought about
They've been threatening me for what, 6 months now. They still haven't found me. So what does it say about their hunting skills? I mean, having a nonce under their nose and proclaiming to be pedo hunters and not knowing that destroys them instantly anyway. But
that is a bad move. But why couldn't you just give them? Why couldn't you give them advice? Why do you need to keep targeting them? Why couldn't you just give advice?
I did, and then they threatened me.
Well, but look at the way you put across your advice.
It's none of your business, is it? Really, what I do with my life and how I do it. When it comes, listen. When it comes, yeah, listen.
About everyone else either.
Yeah, look, I never said it was. They called me out. They called me out because I was reporting about a public post in my public group that I didn't even post. It just so happened to be about them. That's it. They called me out and then subsequently started threatening me with my address and family and everything, right? Yeah, it spiraled out of control, and that's just one of them. Now it's my turn, and now you want me to back off? Or was you telling them to back off me when they were putting my
Who's telling you to back off?
You are. You're asking me to.
I said have you made your point? You've made your point. Just, you know what I mean?
No, I'll just listen. Well, don't I get to decide when I've made my point? You've asked me if I've made.
How am I to do with TGA?
I never said you were. I'm just saying I get to
Who said
decide when.
you, mate? Who said you? Listen
I
to what
don't
I'm
even know
saying,
what
mate.
the question
Fucking
is.
hell.
What are you
Clean
on
your ears
about?
out. Clean your
Right.
ears about
What's
reading a
the
comment. Someone saying that
what's the
I am something to do with TGA.
who? I'm not
Someone
reading
in the
the
comments.
comments.
How am I involved with someone to do with TGA? You're involved in a non-dream.
Yeah, but you're the one defending TGA that was caught harbouring a nonce, a convicted paedophile.
Yeah, but listen,
So,
enough's enough, innit? Do you know, enough's enough.
no,
You got
I'll
like
decide when
you've
enough's
made your
enough,
point.
not you.
You've
No,
made your
I'll
point. Why
decide.
don't you move on to? Why don't you
Tell
move
you
on
what,
to the next thing? Why don't you actually try and do something?
I will. I'll move on to the next thing, and I'll block you as soon as I finish this broadcast, so you don't have to see any of my shit ever again. And I'll keep slapping TGA about. Even a year old yet. But this time next year, it might start getting a little bit boring. But until then, innit, you better suck it up, buttercup. Right then, let's bring Olly Ferns on, because that little dick. Fucking repetitive little prick. I'll decide when I've made my point, not you. I'll tell you what, though, yeah? I would back off. I would back off TJ a little bit if James was man enough to fucking jump on open mic with me and explain his affiliation with this paedophile, Mike Terry, his best friend, according to his wife.
Morning, Katie.
Yes, Ollie fans.
Oh, so now you believe it's me?
Oh, well, definitely now. This
Well,
removes all shadow of a doubt. I mean, you're always skeptical online, aren't you? You always leave a margin of error, as so you don't end up with egg on your face, Ollie. Do you know what I'm saying? You seem to have disappeared. Why don't I do lives on camera now? Oh, I will. Can anyone hear Ollie? No, he's crashed. He's he's um he's fucking ancient. His battery's gone. I'd mean to be one of my misses.
Go to outside still. Then looking, then their followers are like.
A robber nicks a granny's fucking handbag, and you can rugby tackle him in the street. Person perspective.
You started getting messed.
Yes, Ollie.
Yeah, my phone's a bit fucked. Like proper.
That's all right. It's all right. Cool.
I don't use computers because I don't understand them.
Right then. So, right, I don't know too much about you. I know that you are somehow connected to or were James Jewell, Chris Whitworth, Justice for the Innocent.
I got
Let's
Chris
go from there.
Whitwer. I was the one that taught Chris Whitwer into coming out hunting because I honestly thought he was a decent guy until he started making up pure lies about people.
All right.
James Jewell, he brought over with him on his first ever sting, or his second sting actually, and he brought this James Jewell over and just left him, just fucking posting random shit and never fucking helped him.
And how long ago was this?
This was fucking October last year.
All right, because like, listen, I listen. I didn't know Chris Whitworth's name, but I have known him in the scene for, well, in the activism scene anyway, with some right undesirables, as I'm sure you're aware, for well over 5-6 years.
But no, I'm only aware of it now. Because I used to honestly worship the guy until he treated me like a prick, and then I seen through his facade.
Right, well, you'd have to explain this to me then. What happened? Because I saw him come to your house with what it claims to be your house, with a bunch of buddies one day knocking on your door. What was all that about?
That wasn't Chris. That was Mike Easby and Dan James. Chris just orchestrated it because Chris doesn't have the mineral to come to me myself.
So what was all that? What was all that about?
I walked away from a hunting team because they weren't listening to me. It was Plymouth against paedophiles. I ran it for 3 years. I mostly ran it on my own. But then I started to bring people on board when I went out doing stings and doing out actual more and more I was doing. I had another child, then I've got 3 children, I'm running a team. So I started bringing people on with me. Now these people all turned because I wouldn't physically take them out hunting, because if you don't listen to me, if you're not listening to someone, who's actually trying to help and actually get a fucking decent prosecution without touching the nonce, without moving them, without their say. Do you know what I mean? You've got certain things to do. You've got to ask, will you move over there by your own volition? You can't say, right, you're going over there, because that's entrapment. That's catching someone, holding them against their will.
Coercion. It's coercion. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So I used to try and do it right. You don't touch the nonce unless he goes to run. And then even then it's a bit sketchy, because under section 24A he has to be committing a crime there and then. Most of the time they're not, because they're not actually meeting a child.
Yeah, listen, those citizens arrest type scenarios are for like, you literally Crocodile Dundee type scenario where a robber nicks a granny's fucking handbag and you can rugby tackle him in the street. Yeah.
Yeah, see, I know this, but see, people wasn't wanting to listen to me, and I might be a fucking bit of a fucking unhinged cunt, yeah? But when it comes to catching paedophiles, I'm pretty fucking good at it. I know the law, I've learned it.
Yeah, you've learned a bit of law, because you've been, from what I can gather, on the wrong side of it most of your life. Do you know what I mean? But that's how people learn as well.
I'm not gonna lie, that's how I learned it. I learned by fucking evading the police.
I respect honesty. Yeah, I respect
anything towards children. Yeah, I was a thief. I was a fraud. I was a fucking dishonest person that sold drugs. Yeah, I never sold drugs to kids. Where Chris Whitmer got that from is just fucking unfounded. I think he got it from his stable. Do you know what I mean? Kept it in with the ponies, didn't he?
Well, yeah. Listen, people think that pony stuff might be a bit of a joke, but if you, I'm telling you now, I could introduce you to some people on the free man on the land scene, which I ridicule. I'm not part of. I ridicule it. I expose it. But nevertheless, there's people within that scene that know of a woman called Belinda McKenzie, right? Yeah, and I shit you not, the stories I've heard about her dungeon. She's got like a basement dungeon which has got like gates which are proper key locked, and they've got like, you know, those chains and stuff on the walls where cufflinks that fit around people's ankles. Some kind of
50 Shades of Grey shit.
Yeah, proper like, but like a communal place where like they all put on masks and think they're all part of some Illuminati shit. Do you know what I mean? Or all keys in a bowl type of thing, right? Yeah. Now, listen, obviously things get exaggerated, but too many different people from over the years have said the same things. Like, yeah, do you know what I mean? Yeah, but because they, as you're well aware, as it's happening right now, people fall out and then grass each other up, don't they? Yeah.
But see, the thing is, when they're grassing me up, yeah, they're making up this person that I'm not. They're making up these lies, saying that I've done this, I've done that. He posted me on his database, but worst movie ever done. Worst movie ever done. I mean that now because yeah, go ahead. I'm not Jade, I'm Olly. Call me Olly.
Yeah, he's done it as well with me. But yo, Ben Gibson, you've been typing on my shit earlier. Like, I've just completely made up about going to that boarding school that I've posted and stuff like that. I don't know what makes you feel. I'd have to be like some sort of raw dickhead to make something up like that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, like it's like you can't make something up like that. There's going to be documents. It's going to be registered. I'm going to be.
I want to ask you a question, mate.
Go on, go for it.
Yeah, when you was running Free Man of the Land Fails, yeah, and you wasn't in the hunting scene, and you was only observing it, you wasn't commenting, yeah. It was about October time. You started getting messages and fucking being written on by Tony Graves or Robin Banks or Russ Gunn, whatever account he was using. Do you remember?
Rings a bell, yeah.
He was posting my lives up to asking you and your team of Free Man on the Land Fails to come and troll me, which you've never done. Which you've never ever done. Yeah?
Yep.
But see, they're all worshipping Tony Graves, Russ Gunn, Robin Banks, whatever he's called, but because he's slating you. But what they don't realise is he brought you over to the community to start commenting on it.
Or at least try to, innit? Do you know what I mean? Yeah, he was dropping it.
So these people are now like, oh, bad as this, bad as that. Do you know what? I've seen a different side to you and Chelsea. I see you get pushed into what you're doing. If they let you to stop your words and just left you alone, you wouldn't have so much to fucking say back. But they're going, bad of this, bad of that, Chelsea this, Chelsea that. Then their followers are then looking, then their followers are liking, and that's giving you a following.
Well, I suppose it's like a bit of the tax man, isn't it? And the thing is that I've got substance and I've got facts. It's not like I'm coming with bullshit. Like, Olly, I don't know whether you realise this or not, right? Yeah, but I've got Chris Whitwer on the same stage as prolific paedophile apologists. And I'm not talking about internet banter. Oh, you're paedophile sympathizer. I'm talking about a guy. I'm talking about a guy.
What's his name?
Yeah,
I'm trying to think of it now.
Brian
It's not
Gerrish.
Peter. That's it, Brian Gerrish, the Gerrish thing. Yeah,
I'm talking about a real paedophile apologist of a convicted paedophile called Martin Smith of multiple accounts of sexual abuse, right? Yeah, and many carried out upon children. And his wife, his Mrs. Leanne Smith, murdered their two babies, suffocated them with a plastic bag on a beach so they couldn't grow up to tell their fucking story of their abuse or whatever, obviously. Like, yeah, but no, and she's now fucking serving life for murder. Obviously, he ended up killing himself because obviously his dinners were being shat in every day, rightfully so.
fucking good. Well, it should be.
But like this, Brian Gerrish proclaimed his innocence on a stage in front of an audience. He's been caught on camera. I've got him. But Whitwer leaves him alone. He gets a pass. Badda Bing says something even. Oh, I'll get put up in his database with loads of bullshit about all this, loads of fucking bullshit. Chris Whitwer put me up on.
What he doesn't understand is.
But he leaves his pals alone.
He's done this for 10 years, you know. He's been posting people up on a database falsely for 10 years since he fell out with the people that run a certain page. Now that certain page is actually close to me, and I'm doing a lot of stuff with it. Which is something that I want Chris to know now, because I don't care how much they come at me, how much they try and stop me. I'll always be spreading awareness. I'll always be telling people, check your kids' devices. Don't allow them to do this. Don't allow them on these games, because that's being a proactive parent. I'm not doing this for anyone else's kids. I do this for my kids, for my 3 babies.
He tried, right? Yeah, because like you must be aware of my I've got some ex-military and current military family and stuff like that, but I've got like a badass fucking Rambo uncle, do you know what I mean? Yeah, proper fucking killer. Anyway, my uncle's messaged me one day and it going, Whitwer, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. And I'm like, yeah, he's just some fucking nuns, man. He's some part-time chef in the army. He ignored a little prick, innit? Do you know what I mean? Yeah, but like the guy's relentless. He used the licenses and marriages certificates registration thing online illegally to out my mum and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, what a plank of fucking wood. Like, I mean, like, does Kathleen, his mum, have you met his mum yet? Does Kathleen know?
No, I've never met him, but I heard she makes a lovely cottage pie.
Right, but does she know the kind of? Does she know the kind of shit that she's going to be bringing back to her doorstep, like her own son's doing? Like, yeah, I mean, like, because. Like,
I was going to go there when he posted a picture. He went to Chelsea one week, yeah, for posting kids' pictures. The next week, that little bastard has posted my kid's picture. He posted my kid's picture.
I saw that.
But that's okay because it's Chris Whitwer. And then the next week after that, he posted me up on the database. Now, I said to him, fucking thank you for doing that. I wanted you to, really, in all fairness, because now I've got
Yeah, do you know, Olly, I fully agree with what you're saying. You have a minor little disgruntle with him and stuff like that. You get put up on his database, but his mate, listen, his mate, Brian Gerrish, that proclaims the innocence of a convicted fucking paedophile of 2 murdered babies, he gets a pass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you get put on his database because you have a little online tiff, rah rah rah. You've all got disagreements on how to put these nonsense away for the longest amount of time. So Whitwer puts you on his database because you have a public falling out, but his mate Brian Gerrish gets a pass. 2 murdered babies, a convicted fucking paedophile of multiple accounts of sexual abuse. But Gerrish gets a pass. But you, that has a public falling out with him online and stuff like that, you get put on his database. Just think about that.
No, don't worry. I already know that's when he lost all credibility with me. When he started posting people up, and that's when I started getting in contact with other people that I've known over the years. He said to me, "You've got to watch out for this person. You've got to watch out for that person." Now I've spoke to Chris Whitwer for 3 years, so he's told me a fucking whole list of names of people he doesn't like. So I've been and got in contact with these people. Now I've got a collaborated evidence file on him. Now, I've got 5 months' worth of group chats from Justice for the Innocent. I've got all the Hub's old group chats.
Excellent,
do you know?
Man. Yeah.
Why do you think these people aren't actually going at me so much? Why do you think these people are going at random people and not me? Because they know if I I wanted to spill, James Jewell hasn't said anything since I put stuff on your page the other day about him. He won't say anything because he's scared that these screenshots will be released because they make his team look bad.
Yeah, he's a gobby little cunt as well. Do you remember that woman he put up on his page, and that he was proclaiming to be one of my missuses or something like that? I'd never seen the woman before in my entire life. Completely innocent individual.
I've had to ring him
Absolutely.
up every day for a week to tell him to get this fucking post down on his page because he put a post up of this guy we caught in Exeter and then said this is his brother. There was the actual nonce's brother was commenting, laughing, saying that's not him. I'm his brother, and they deleted the nonce's brother, and didn't actually comment on him. Didn't post him up and kept that other innocent guy on there for a week.
Absolutely disgusting. And Charlie Brennan, you're absolutely right. As far as Chris Whitwer used the marriages and certificates licensing and registration site and stuff like that illegally in order to find out my family. And like, obviously, do you know what I mean? Yeah, like, you know, they're not too happy about that. And you know, it will be resurrected, and it will be going to Kathleen's doorstep at some point. I guarantee you that. But that's a story for another day. But yeah, we and me and my family are obviously interested in anything that you've got on this little fucking bold little prick.
Oh, see, this is the thing, yeah. Now, I've been accused of speaking to Chelsea. This is what he said. He accused me of speaking to Chelsea. So do you know what I've done? I went and gave Chelsea a load of links. Not everything, just a few little snippets to say I'm watching you. Do you know what I mean? Then he knew. He went and hacked Chelsea's inbox or had someone get into Chelsea's inbox to know it was me. And I said, did I ever speak to her before that? And I said, no, I'd never spoke to her before that. So you made that happen. Your paranoia made that happen. Mm-hmm. So I hope they do something very, very stupid now and start talking about me again because I've got over fucking like 20,000 screenshots now saved up.
Yes, this is Olly Fans. This is the one and only Olly Fans, former member, as it looks, of Justice for the Innocent. And
no. I was Plymouth against paedophiles.
Oh yeah, excuse me.
I was the one running it, and then I walked away from that team because they weren't listening. I said to James, I can't run another team. It's killed me. I've got 3 fucking kids. One of them's a newborn. I've just had a mental breakdown. I said, tell you what, you run the fucking team, and I'll do the rest. I'll make sure everything goes okay. As soon as I left that team, as soon as I walked away from Justice for the Innocent as well, or they kicked me, however they see it, everything they've done has just gone from worse to worse to worse to worse.
I mean, like, when they posted pictures, you had a little barbecue and stuff like that, innit? And when they posted pictures of your kids, or Whitwer did, they were our friends and family only, weren't they? They weren't posted publicly.
No, they was posted into my group, MDTT, which wasn't even. It's that was a closed group. It's not in the public.
So yeah, but oh right, I see. Okay.
Yeah, Russ kept nicking pictures. Do you know what I've had? I've had them make fake profile, and I've had them fucking comment on saying that this is my dead baby. You know.
Okay.
And I've got all this
can I ask you a question, seeing as you are pretty close to that little scene, or were? You know this Susanna Palmer. She thinks she. Has she got any as far as you're aware, has she got any like qualifications in decoying or anything like that?
I've never heard of her. She's she's just a fruit bat that actually got listened to. This is what happens. Some crazy bastard will spin a lie. Everyone will believe it, and then they'll go on and spin fuckloads more lies.
Yeah, do you know what? That's exactly what I thought about her. I thought this is just someone that is self-appointing herself as some sort of like leader of something when she's not. She's trying to exert power where she has none. It's well funny. And I imagine some people just humour her. And some people actually take her seriously. It's well amusing.
There's about four proper decoys that I will approach and say, look, I've been handed this chat log. Can you have a look at it for me just to make sure it is? Because I'm dyslexic. I get my words muddled up. I can't spell properly. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
So I'll always ask someone to just double check this chat log, and I'll only ask 4 people for that. I'm not going to give you their names, but I will only ask 4 people that I trust as decoys, because the rest of them aren't decoys. They're just people with internet access. You know,
wow.
I've worked with most teams. I've helped set teams up. I've done this. I've done that. As soon as I had a little bit of, they all started getting involved in it. They all started saying that Charlotte's been and approached them and asked them for help. Well, I'd love to see the proof of that. I'd love to see the proof of that my kids are in danger. I'd love to see the proof that social services are involved with my kids.
All right, for all those listening, Ollie, if I can surmise, and then you can say whether I'm pretty much accurate or not. Right, to surmise, right, yeah, Ollie was part of a paedophile hunting team. Regardless of how they conducted their stings and whatever, he saw that there were ways that they were conducting these things that were pretty much making the nonce walking, suspended sentences, walking, not getting the maximum amount of time behind bars as possible. So when he started trying to enhance his team and whatnot and make them more proficient and better at what they do to get these nonces behind bars for the longest amount of time possible, which may not have been as popular to the crowds that it's being broadcast to, but it was getting the nonces put away for the longest amount of time, so it was better for the children, right? Yeah, he started getting friction with his team members, and they started causing all sorts of drama with him and his family, and just generally being bullies and sort of victim, like turned him into some sort of victim of bullying and stuff, and harassing and hounding his family because he wants to put these nonces away behind bars for longer, which just so happens to be not as popular for social media.
You know what? This can be used as a fucking screen recording, whatever. I had a fucking argument with my baby's mum, and we had a fight. I hit her. I was in a bad place at the time. My mental health was on the brink. Do you know what I mean? I was on the edge of snapping, and I just snapped. Now these people have used that. They've tarnished my name that much.
Are you still with her? Did she forgive you? Are you still with her?
Mate, I'm sat in her house with my kids right now.
There you go, then. That's all that matters. Right, yeah. So, like,
social services.
You own your shit.
Yes, I owned it. I told everyone online. I was the one that outed it. I said, look, I've done something stupid to every team leader. I said, look, you don't want to work with me, that's fine, but I'm going to tell you before anyone else does. Do you know what I mean? I own my shit. I've always owned my shit. That's why when someone says, oh, you're on this account, no, I'll tell you what account I'm on. It's fucking obvious. I can't fucking spell. You're going to know it's me.
Yeah, well, you can't beat someone up that owns their own shit. Yeah, all right, he hit his missus, he shouldn't have done it. But you know what? It's not like she's online moaning about it anywhere. Some other little bitch that didn't get smacked is moaning about it. His actual missus that he did smack in a heated one. Right, yeah, he's still with him and forgave him for his missus. Hang on, listen, let me finish, Ollie, on your behalf. His missus forgave his moment of weakness, and he's owning that shit. Right, regardless, and all you other little bitches want to beat him up about it because, like, as I've just explained, he wants to put nonces behind bars for the longest amount of time possible, which isn't as popular for social media the way it gets done. Therefore, all these popular social media heads and people at work, probably, most certainly on behalf of paedophile networks, right, yeah, are hounding this guy in it because he saw through all their bullshit.
Badda, I'm going to leave you there. I'm going to stay on the live with you, yeah, but I'm going to go outside for a quick fag.
Yeah, no worries, man. Don't be filling them kiddies' lungs up with smoke. Good on you.
I don't smoke in the house, mate. I go outside. I'm going outside.
I know. I'm just emphasising that point. Good man.
Well, I'm having a spliff, mate, so they can moan as much as they want.
Listen, as well, yeah. Like I've heard, like this is what I mean with this. What's his name? This James Jules. He's like a prehistoric fucking dickhead, isn't he? Like, people have said that they've heard him on lives talking about how 14, 15-year-old girls are still at home playing with dollies and they shouldn't be talking about sex. I mean, like, is he delusional? Secondly, right, yeah, he said something about how would any mother have kids with Badda? He smokes weed, they wouldn't let him anywhere near a child. I'm like, I mean, like, I've studied family law and and many different aspects of law and stuff like that, and I've had a judge tell me firsthand that deals with family law out of the courtroom, just on a little friendly basis, right? Yeah, that no child ever in the history of family law has been removed from parents that smoke weed. This has never happened. Ever. They're not even interested. You know, when there's a parent in the family courtroom, like, he smokes weed or she smokes weed, right? It's just practically dismissed instantly, like it's irrelevant. It's not even a fact that's taken into consideration ever. So let me just throw that out there, right? Yeah. James Jewell is living in some prehistoric times that do not exist. Now I can appreciate.
asshole. The guy's got more testosterone in him than a prostitute.
Yeah, he's rather water-based, isn't he?
No, mate, he carries Viagra around in his fucking wallet, even on stings. He's got a Viagra in his wallet.
I have never tried them. Do they actually work?
I've never tried them. I don't fucking need them.
Oh no, no me. I'm an English thoroughbred.
I feel like a fuck one constantly.
Yeah, but these steads they fuck up all your insides and everything, and their brains. Like he's a very angry fellow, James Jordan, isn't he? He's angry. He's angry at the police. He's angry at everyone. Now, for all I know, he might have been touched in the pants as a kid and he can't get over it. He's got a chip on his shoulder ever since.
Not that. He's a posh little boy trying to be a gangster. Oh,
Wow.
you are a bottom. Who the fuck, what man says abhorrent? You know?
What fully grown man imagines 14, 15-year-old girls at home still playing with dolls? Like, I mean, like that's a noncy way of thinking about 14 and 15-year-olds in the first place, don't you think?
Do you know how long he gets with his kids each week? Do you know this man that goes on, he's got 2 daughters, he gets 4 hours a week with them? That's not a fucking father, that's a babysitter for a minute.
Wow, you know, you're involved. You know, listen, I've seen. Listen, you can say this shit because I've seen photos with you and him together. Do you know what I mean? Therefore, you know these people, right? Yeah, like,
I've got his ex-missus. I had his ex-missus, who's now his missus again. After all he done to her, I don't get involved in that. I don't say, "Oh, you're bad." All I said is that I just upload images that she said to us, that she actually came to us. We never approached her. She approached us and said, James is doing this, James is doing that, he's a monster, he's doing this. Then Jade's come over doing exactly the same thing. Now, I didn't know what he was truly like until Sam Groot told me. You see? He's an absolute fucking wrong'un, that boy. An absolute fucking wrong'un. That's why he's only got his kid for 4 hours a week. Now, if that was me, I'd be like, is it fuck, I want my kids 4 days a week. Not 4 hours.
Like that particular if that has that been ordered by a judge? Like is that conditions have been set out by somebody?
No, that's him. That's all he will do. And do you know what he does when he sits there? You know what he does when he sits there? He sits there arguing with people online, so he doesn't even converse with his kids.
Oh wow! Right. These people make up all sorts of absurdities about me and my imaginary children.
Mate, Chris Whitworth doesn't even speak about his children.
I didn't even know he had any. I think I know Linda had some. I didn't know they were Chris's though. Have they got kids, Linda and Chris?
No, not Linda and Chris. I think Alison might have a kid with him. Not too sure.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, see.
Let me just write that down.
all these people wanted to keep pushing me, yeah? But what did they do? They pushed me to hate them, and now I hate them. Now I hate them. They're thinking, oh, he's a beat dog, he's not going to come back from it. Well, I have everything.
Ollie, man, if you got any respect for me whatsoever, I'll give you a bit of advice. And never let anyone drag you down enough to hate him. Chris Whitwer isn't worthy of anybody's hate. Pity the man. Pity him.
Have you not seen what I'm like online? I banter. I don't hate these people. I rip them to shreds with humour.
Listen, I promise you now, Chris Whitwer is in a world of shit he can't walk away from even if he wanted to. I promise you that. Right?
Mm-hmm.
He is in a living nightmare, even if he doesn't realise it.
Did you know he stole the UK database? Did you know
that? Yeah, off who?
Off who? I'm not going to say who, but he stole it. I've got all the proof here. If you actually look at the email address Chris uses for his database, it's not UK database. It's actually another team's email, the team he stole it from.
All right, yeah.
But that team love me. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I actually that team now. I have been on their page.
He had something set up called Chris, the acronym, didn't it? Sponsored by Pie and Mash Films, Bill Maloney's gig.
Children have rights in society. It's called. That's what.
See, you know about that. Like that was sponsored by Bill Maloney's Pie and Mash Films.
See, not many people know how much I know. They all think I'm fit because I can't spell.
Yeah, but Bill Maloney's Pie and Mash Films was named after the Paedophile Information Exchange Network.
See?
Like, listen, Bill Maloney, right? Yeah, campaigned for the lowering of age of consent, according to Chris Whitworth's own mouth himself, and amnesty for paedophiles. Yeah, and and that sponsored Chris's acronym, whatever it is again. What is it again? Children, what?
Have rights in society.
There you go. Children have rights in society. Listen to this now. No way. Children have rights in society. Everyone listening to this now, right? Yeah. The Paedophile Information Exchange Network. Ollie, please, Ollie, don't interrupt. Don't interrupt. Right, just right. Say that acronym again.
Badda sounds triggered, and children have rights in society.
Oh, I am triggered. Children have rights in society. Listen to this for triggered. Right, yeah. The Paedophile Information Exchange Network, right, yeah. They tried campaigning their government for more rights for children because they felt that rather than they were trying to campaign for more rights for children because they thought children were sexually oppressed. They wanted the age of consent lowered to the age of 4 because they believed that children needed more rights in law to be able to have sex with adults if they wanted to. And what was Chris's acronym stand for again?
How many times have I got to fucking say it?
Just say it, man. Just say it.
Children have rights in society.
Right, but you got to understand, right? Yeah, these types of paedophiles, they hide in plain sight. They use a language that's masked, but really, it's telling you what they are about. Oh wow. Wow, I never knew that was what the acronym stood for, but that acronym. What I'm saying is the acronym is the political philosophy of the Paedophile Information Exchange Network. I shit you not. That acronym you've just told me is the philosophy of the Paedophile Information Exchange Network. It triggered me the moment it left your fucking mouth.
And I thought you sounded a little bit triggered there, Buds.
Oh man, oh wow.
Can I just confirm, the first time we ever conversed, the first time we ever typed or spoke that I know of, was the other day, like 2 days ago. 2 days ago, the first time I typed to you and said, look, I want to do a live with you.
Yeah. But listen, I will confess, I thought that you might have been Sam Page at one point, but that's clearly not the case.
No.
But like, so yeah, as far
my name, because there's no point. A man without conviction is not a man at all.
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, this is definitely the first time we've ever spoken. And before that, you talked to me for the first time, literally a day and a half ago, 2 days ago.
That's it. Now, why have I chosen now to do this? Why have I chosen?
I have no clue. I have no clue. I really don't. But I am happy to interview you, most certainly.
Well, mate, I'm happy to interview you if you understand. I was the one that requested the interview, to be fair.
Oh yeah, well, no, listen, I've asked loads of shit. If there's anything you want to ask me, fire away.
What size shoe are you?
Last time I checked, roughly about 9.5, I think.
How do you braid your beard?
My missus.
That's just mad. You got like little cornrows on your beard. It's fucking.
Yeah, I got. No, listen. If I never had a brilliant woman like the woman I've got, I wouldn't be able to do the plait. Because like, have you seen the plait going down the back of my head?
I'm not into plaits, not personally myself. Like.
No, nor me. I can't plait for shit. So if I didn't have the love of a good woman, it wouldn't get done.
You'd look like Suicide Hunter, and don't lie.
Pardon?
If you didn't have it plaited, you'd look like Suicide Hunter, and don't lie.
Suicide Hunter. I look fucking looking like that spoon. Yo, what was that? Yeah, come on, more questions, fire away.
I'm still outside. I'm dodging in between and putting my spliff down and coming in to speak to you, and I'm going back out. So you carry on talking about whatever you want to talk about, and I'll just interject when I feel necessary.
I'm gonna bounce on that Chris acronym like a motherfucker. That has just it. Look, listen. Before talking to you, I was definitely 75% Whitworths and nonce. After speaking to you, I am now 90% Whitworths and nonce and works in the best interests of paedophiles and paedophile networks. 100. I have no.
Why am
I am pretty. I
I-
am pretty much. I am like you're never going to catch someone like Whitwer with his hands down a kiddie's pants. I have no doubt he probably travels to somewhere like Thailand
He's
frequently.
been there twice. Been there twice.
Oh, so you know for a fact Chris Whitwer travels to Thailand and he's been there more than once.
I know for a fact he's been there twice. There's pictures of him on. I think he actually turned around and I've got it in group chat where he said he's going to Thailand.
So the number one Peter and isn't that
Badda Google him. He set up
oh, Gary Glitter?
He set up a fucking GoFundMe page so he could go to Thailand and he could be a Buddhist monk.
Oh, and did he end up being a Buddhist monk?
I think he ended up being a pissed English cunt over there, but
Yeah, and then, do you know what I mean? Yeah, he had a couple of he had 23-year-olds.
What is it, like 23-year-olds?
20, yeah, as in 20 of them.
Oh,
That's a little wrong, man. Yo, listen, don't trust anybody. I am telling you now, don't trust anyone that frequents to fucking Thailand, right? Yeah, especially in this sordid fucking little scene. Chris Whitwer not only runs with the philosophy of the paedophile information exchange, he chills with Bill Maloney, a campaigner for more paedophile rights. He also frequents Thailand. Do you know what? It's all stacking up, isn't it? It's all adding up.
dog, 3, 2, 1.
Like sophisticated paedophiles, right? Sophisticated paedophiles, because I know Whitwer's not a stupid lad. I know he's not thick. I've listened to him, innit? I've listened to his videos. I know he's a very smart, calculative
Let me tell you this.
slime ball. Do you know what? Listen. I know he's a calculative. I know he's a smart, calculative little fucking.
Bad a minute. Can you stay bad about I finish my fight? Because I don't want to leave him hanging. Sorry.
Well, Olly, I can hear you perfectly from where you are.
From the phone, I need to go to outside still.
Yeah, it's cool, man. It's cool. But I know Whitwer to be a rather intelligent little fucking slime ball. And this fresh new information, it's just wow. So yeah, we'll have to get to the bottom of why Whitwer can't see his kids. From what was it, Alison? Yeah, we'll have to get to the bottom of that.
Yeah. Did you know he burned her pub down twice for the insurance money?
I did read something about that actually. Yeah, arson. Do you know what? Arson. The thing is with that, right? Yeah, there's a strong link. Right? Have you studied? Well, I don't know if you studied any criminal psychology at all, but there's a link. There's a study been done, and there's a link between pyromaniacs, yeah, and rapists, sexual abusers, right? Yeah, that's the next level. But on the flip side, there's also abuse victims that can turn pyromaniac, but also there's also a link between abuse victims and abuser themselves. There's studies been done of that because of case law. But you got to understand, Olly, in case law, like the law knows that it's like the all-seeing eye in it. In case law, it learns from itself.
It's precedent. That's precedent. It's what
it's built on precedent, so it's constantly learning from itself. But when anomalies or patterns arise, studies are conducted upon them. Now, throughout the judicial system and the English common law system throughout the Commonwealth, right? Yeah, there has been a pattern between abusers that are in court, right, yeah, for abusing kids, and then when them kids are growing up, they're in court for similar offences upon children themselves. And because that's happened one too many times throughout the Commonwealth in the English tongue throughout English court systems, no matter where in the world they are, studies have been done upon it, and there's a strong link between abuse victim and abuser, and also pyromaniacs and abusers. The follow-on crime from pyromaniacs are predominantly rapists and child molesters and stuff like that. But also, it is a great indication that the pyromaniac has either got they are some sort of sex pest or have been molested themselves. These are variables that are conducted within the studies that are. Studies are done because patterns are emerged. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, studies are not just done on a whim. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. You're not educating me right now. You're educating the other 165 people watching, because I already knows all this.
Yeah, well, we're just bouncing off each other, innit? Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Here's one for you. Did you know? Here's one. Chris says I'm a failed hunter, and so does James Jewell. So that sting James done the other day, where he let the nonce go. He told the nonce that he was coming. Basically, the nonce ran away from the bail
Night
hostel.
before.
Yeah, no, that was the one that jumped out the window. Do you know the second ever sting I took James Jewell on? I made him stand round the fucking back of the house in case the nonce jumped out the window. So
Yeah, and he didn't learn from it.
And he didn't learn. The first thing he done without me, mate. The guy jumps out the fucking window and runs away. Gets found. Did you know they never released this on the page either? Which I have it from the nonce's family. Yeah, that the nonce got found in a ditch and they got taken to hospital by an ambulance. They never released that on the fucking page, though, did they?
Wow. Check fucking Ollie fan going in. Whitware's going to be pitching feathers on Whitware and Linda. Pacing right now.
James Jewell is never, ever, ever, ever going to live me down. Because I swear down, that posh little prick needs a fucking taste of his own medicine. He went round saying that that I went round threatening to rape women. So I rang my mate up and said, how the fuck did I do that? What did I say to them? So I said it to my mate, which is where he says that I threatened, that I was joking about rape. But I was joking about it because of what he said. Like, how did I threaten to rape this woman? Where's the proof of it? What did I say? Like, did I say this? And then obviously my mate put it up as a status. And then they've all jumped on me on that. Like, they baited me into doing it.
Wow.
But that's I'm not bothered about what haven't they learned yet. They've posted me up as a nonce. They've posted me up as this. They've posted me up as that. I'm still fucking here. I've got a big fucking following, whether they choose to accept it or not. I work with 5 fucking hunting teams, and I work with an exposing page that Chris robbed off someone. You know, so I think I'm pretty still in the game for as far as I'm concerned.
Absolutely.
I'm in the background.
Alex Westgarth is getting. Listen, you'll probably get more shit now for speaking to me because Alex Westgarth.
No. Listen. I've told Alex West if they want to put him in a group chat, they can. Alex has just got to add me from now on because I'll go in there and I'll fuck shit up. I will fuck shit up sideways for them because what they fail to understand is the ones that are going at Alex have only been here for 6 months.